This evaluator is the founding president of this club. Without him, we will not have this club, we will not be here today. Join me welcome, Charles.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Very excited to see you all here. So today, my purpose is to evaluate the speech of Cavan. So, congratulations again on finishing your 10 speeches within a year. And that's probably the fastest ever bandwidth that I have ever seen within my short Toastmaster journey, 6 months to finish 10 speeches. So what I'm going to do today is to use the acronym with the 7 letters, fastest, for him to evaluate his speech. So let me start with the word fact. So I really appreciate that Cavan used a lot of very intriguing facts to start his speech by using the Olympian, showing that he lost both feet, and also the girl who lost both feet, by showing that they have passion to be athletes. And that kind of started his speech with a very positive and very intriguing tone. And secondly, I really appreciate the way that he asked the audience a question at the very beginning: what is your dream? Unfortunately, he really didn't get a lot of answers other than this guy who said he wants food. But what I would do if I were him, maybe I could ask someone that I know, like a good friend of mine, maybe Jeff. He can pretend that he knows the question. He has an answer in mind, and I can just invite Jeff to answer that question. You know, in Chinese we call it "smoi." So that it kind of helps you to break the ice, and maybe some more people is going to answer the question too. So that's a little tip for you. And then comes to the setup. I really appreciate you did the setup in terms of the very clear introduction, body, and conclusion. So you have done a very clear cut, and it's very easy for everyone to follow your speech. That's a very well done accomplishment. The fourth is the tagline. I think in your speech you could have added a stronger tagline to re-emphasize your point. What you have kind of used your tagline is a quote that you used at the beginning. It was disability. The only disability was a bad attitude. I thought that it's a little challenging for me to memorize that because it's a double negative, first of all, and it's kind of creating a very complicated way of memorizing that sentence. So, as you said, dream is something very important, and what drives your dream come true is your passion. So what I think would be a better tagline would be, passion helps you to fulfill your dream. Or you could say, passion helps your dream come true. Something like that is a much easier takeaway for your audience to remember. And then the E is the I stimulus. So I thought you spent a lot of effort and time in terms of putting together the presentation, and actually Cavan told me that he really needs to use this in order to make a good speech. And I thought eventually it only comes to that slide that he want to show you before and after of Cavan. That's pretty much the reason. But anyway, I think you did very well. So the last two, the S is to sit down. I thought the way that he brought a chair out and then sat down to finish his speech was it's a very creative way to end his speech, because he wanted to use a different way so that people would remember. It's a very creative way, but on the other side, you may be taking a little risk because people at the back may not be able to see you when you're sitting down here, because we have a pretty big room. So instead, you could consider, when you do this, you could walk around and instead of sitting down, so that you can also create a different kind of way of presenting it using a different body gesture. So that's another way to consider. And finally, the T is the takeaway. I thought the takeaway, when you did the takeaway, you kind of use a soft tone. And he also did it on purpose because he wanted people to remember it. But then at the same time, this is again a big room, so some people may not be able to hear you. So another way to do this is like you could also walk around the room and then to speak a little softer, so people can also catch the way you want to do a different, conclusion. So all in all, I think you did very well, and congratulations again, Cavan. Thank you.
It's also also the first time I hear it's the fastest evaluation on 7 points. Okay. Another evaluation, we were evaluating Roberto. Okay. Wake up. Okay. This member attained the highest level Toastmaster award in our club. During the break, some guests asked me, after we're doing all the speech, what do we get? Okay, so practical. Yes, we got some awards. The highest level is the Distinguished Toastmaster, DTM, comparable to MBA. Okay. This person is also a co-founder of this club. Without him, we would not be here. Let's put our hands together. Terence.
Thank you, Dave. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our fellow MBA classmates. And Roberto. So Roberto, storytelling is actually one of the biggest challenges for me, and I always try to avoid that manual when doing the speech. That coached me through the DTM. So congratulations. So just like what Charles did, I would structure Roberto's speech using acronyms. And for us, MBAs, we would choose more business terms as an acronym to structure the evaluation of the speech. I would use P&L. So P&L is not profit and loss. Rest assured. It's plots, ending, and linkage. So let me start with plots. Roberto, I've seen your very clear plots in your stories. So you start out with your journey in France. You were born in France, then you moved to Hong Kong, then maybe you did not move back to France, but you also went through the hospital visit journey and so on. That was very clear. And also you shared your personal story that makes your story more credible. So that's a good job. In terms of the storytelling, a plotline is very important. Now, for the ending, every speech has an ending. And a good story has a message during the ending. And Roberto, needless to say, you have delivered your message, the subtle part of your story, which is to wake up, know yourself, and so on. Now, just one subtle point that I find it could have done better is I find it a little bit confusing at the end of your message. Was it know yourself, when you burn out you need to take a rest, or you need to take a balance between achievement and take a rest? So that was a little bit confusing to me. And I know you were running a bit short in time, because it's meant 2 seconds and your speech was supposed to be 8 minutes. So that was a little bit overrun. And I would suggest that you can condense it a little bit, make it even simpler. You don't perhaps skip that little twist at the end. So just say, know yourself, if you burn out, take a rest, and that's it. So that might be a bit more clear first in your story. So the third part is linkage. So this story, the storytelling is to arouse the audience emotion. And without linking with the audience or connecting with the audience, you're not able to arouse. And Roberto, I've seen you done a great job in that. And I could see the audience laugh and they really focus on you, and you really drove them through the different stages of emotions by using verbal varieties and so on. Now, Roberto, I've observed you apply 2 techniques, a very popular and commonly used Toastmasters technique to deliver that the arousal stage. No.